disbandment of the Beatles became even more complicated due to the legal battles surrounding it. In December 1970, Paul McCartney filed a lawsuit against the group, targeting John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. He later admitted that making such a move was very, very difficult, but he has been open about the reasons he felt compelled to take legal action against his own band. The presence of Allen Klein in their affairs added even greater strain on the group, which was already in the midst of falling apart. McCartney acknowledged that the immediate division between himself and Lennon in the public eye was hard to cope with, though, in the long run, he felt it proved necessary. According to him, if he had not pursued the lawsuit, it would have all belonged to Allen Klein. McCartney stressed that the decision was not made lightly. In an interview with The Guardian, he reflected on the weight of the situation. The fact that I had to sue the Beatles was something that was very, very difficult, because I could see what that would do in terms of perception of me. People could quite easily say, you know what, I'd never do that, no matter if it meant losing everything. He's a hard-hearted bastard, and a mean bastard, and a money-grabbing bastard. And doing well didn't help. We'd tried to get Apple going, and in the short term, it had failed spectacularly. And I started doing my own business, and it started to do quite well. That's what happened, and it resulted in that split. John's really cool and Paul isn't. Despite the damage to his reputation, McCartney later said it was ultimately the right move. Speaking with GQ in 2020, he emphasized that it was the only way to protect the Beatles from Klein and safeguard their legacy. He explained, "If I hadn't done that, it would have all belonged to Allen Klein. The only way I was given to get us out of that was to do what I did. I was thought to be the guy who broke the Beatles up and the bitch who sued his mates. And believe me, I bought into that. It was so prevalent that for years I almost blamed myself." McCartney had long distrusted Klein, whom he saw as a shady operator, though the other three Beatles had voted to install him as manager after Brian Epstein's death in 1967. Even though their relationships were strained at the time of the lawsuit, the former bandmates eventually reconciled. Years later, McCartney paid tribute to Lennon with the song Here Today, recorded just 2 years after Lennon's death. The track from Tug of War still moves him deeply, sometimes catching him off guard on stage. He recalled, "At least once a tour, that song just gets me. I'm singing it, and I think I'm okay. And I suddenly realize it's very emotional. And John was a great mate and a very important man in my life. And I miss him, you know?"